Welcome to Hatha Yoga for today, and we are doing a bit of a standing routine, so if you have knee or wrist issues, this will be fine for you. And we're going to be focusing on the side body today. So we often focus on, I'll turn around, flexion and extension. So today we're going to be focusing on lateral flexion, so keeping the muscles on the side here strong and flexible. So in terms of props, equipment, I'm going to have 2 yoga blocks. You can have a stack of books if you need, or a baby little step, or just something that you might be able to use to lift the floor a little bit, should you need it. Okay? So we're going to start in mountain pose. I'm going to face you for this, but you can be towards the end of the mat, wherever the front of your mat is. I will step there once we're ready to. So I like to soften the eyes closed with this. Just start to shut the whole world out around you and just start to bring your awareness inward and taking your awareness down towards your feet, noticing any sensations that you might be able to feel. So perhaps you have your socks on. Can you feel the sensation of the material of the socks? If you're on your mat, just noticing all the sensations from the baby toe all the way up to the big toe. And do things feel the same? Observe your ankles. Do your ankles feel like there's integrity? So maybe just engage your toes a little bit, and that will help the arches to lift and also help the ankles to just have this little bit of a, I want to say gripping sensation, not so much gripping, but a bit of tension. And as you go up the legs, just engage your knees ever so slightly. Allow your tailbone to go down towards the floor. So we don't want to be in that kind of shape. Just generally a lot of people sit with their bum out. So we just want to hug that belly in and tailbone down. And then think of your spine. So in between each vertebra you have discs. Now imagine you wanted to lift each of those vertebrae away from the discs, so we have little pockets of air. So if you had a princess crown, the crown's going up and up and up. And you will feel how the abdominals naturally start to engage when you lengthen. So we're already working the core. And then have a shoulder roll, so bring your shoulders forward. Take them up to your ears and squeeze them down the back. Okay? The feet are evenly balanced, having the feet under the hips. Now you can have your feet together if you wish. Just pick one. I prefer feet to hip width, as that's the anatomical position, the anatomical man. Good. And I just want you to have a few breaths in this position, just really keeping your mind focused on all the sensations you can feel from the top of your head all the way down to your tippy toes. Making sure that the muscles stay active, so they're not over-contracting, they're not completely relaxed. There's this little line between integrity and tension, and it's also known as tensegrity, which I quite like. And then just blinking the eyes open. So take a breath in and reach your hands up towards the ceiling. Now, because of my long arms, I've had to drop my camera a bit. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your right hand and you're going to hold the left wrist. Okay? Now, from here, start to take yourself over towards the right. So it's right hand is holding left wrist, right hand is pulling left arm, and then take it over to the right. Now, if you have got shoulder issues, then don't hold hands, just take your hands up to the ceiling, okay? As you come into the twist, you want to imagine that the back of your head, your shoulders, and your bum are against a wall. And then you have another wall or a pane of glass in front of you. So what might happen when you come into the twist is something like that might happen. The bum might want to pop out and the shoulders will want to drop forward. It can be lack of awareness, or it can be this tightness in the body. The body's stuck. So it doesn't matter if that movement is really small. It's better to do a movement that's got good alignment than a big movement that's all over the place. So lift the hand and take it over. So just noticing, how does it feel all the way down your arm towards your ankle? Inhale, come up, bring the hands down, have a shoulder up. Taking the hands up to the ceiling, breathing in. Left hand holds right wrist. Pull the right arm up and then take it over into a side bend. So for me personally, this shoulder gets a little bit stuck if I try and keep it in line, so I'm just going to pull it slightly forward. Does it feel like your body's rotating? And if you can do this against a wall, it will give you good feedback. And how does that one feel? Because sometimes we'll go, oh, that side's tight, but the technique hasn't been the same. So it's really important the technique is the same. Inhale, bring the hands up. Give it a little jiggle. So we're going to do one more on each side. Inhale. Right hand holds left. Pull the hand up. Take in another breath. And as you exhale, engage these muscles. So squeeze your ribs towards your hips, actively using the muscles that are called your obliques, and introducing a lovely stretch. I want you to think of your fingers are trying to reach away from your elbow is trying to reach away from your armpit is trying to reach away from the hip. Inhale, bring the hand up, release, have a shoulder roll. And then breathing in, take the hands up towards the ceiling. Left hand holds right wrist. Inhale, lift, take it into the side bend. Think of your right wrist reaching away from the elbow reaching away from the armpit, and armpit reaching away from the hip. Left obliques, abdominal muscles, are actively pulling that hip down. So we're not just flomping, the spine isn't doing this, the muscles are. Inhale, bring the hands back up, and then release down. So I'm just going to turn to my mat. So from here, we're going to step back with the right leg. And when you step back, you'll turn. Two different options. You can either have toes pointing towards there, or you can have toes pointing a little bit forward. It really depends on what's going on in that hip over there. We're going to come into a bent leg position. So we're coming into extended side angle. The front knee wants to be above the front ankle, and the body's nice and tall. Okay, so we'll start in a warrior two position. I want you to reach your left hand forward. Take the left elbow to the left knee. Top hand up to the ceiling. And then if you can, look at the hand. If that hurts your neck, just keep looking forward. Now make sure you're not sagging in your left shoulder, so really push the shoulder away. And then from here, we're going to circle that top arm. So take the arm down, reach it forward, and up to the ceiling. Now you can follow with your eyes. Again, if the head, neck hurts, just keep looking forward or down. Good. Taking it forward. And then just notice if you're really hanging all that weight into that front leg. Bring that right hand up to the ceiling and hold it there. You have the choice of staying here with this hand, or if you have a block, you can always use a block. You can take it a little bit lower. You can take it down to there, okay? What you don't want is to have it down to there and then coming all the way forward. It's better to come up a little bit higher, but have this beautiful long line. So again, imagine you're against a wall. I'm going to stay with my hand here, but this time we're going to take the hand over the top. So like we did with the standing side bends, now think of space between your top hand and your armpit and your hip, and your hip and your knee, and your knee and your ankle. If you want to have a little bit more out of this, start to turn the rib cage back and see if you can bring the elbow behind the head. There's quite a lot on the shoulder, that one. Now notice how much weight is in this. Can you take a little bit of weight out of the supporting arm and then reach that hand? So there wants to be this long line between there. So make sure you haven't got a floppy arm. On your next inhale, we'll come back up, straighten the legs, and then just relax the arms. Grab your block, turn those toes, and then we'll turn these toes, and you can pop your block over there. And just take a bit of time setting up. There's no rush. We want to make sure that the body's in a good alignment. So the front knee will be going again above the ankle, back leg out. Your choice, toes towards the edge of the mat or slightly inward. Inhale, hands come up, reach forward, elbow onto the knee, and then just holding it there to start with. Now make sure that this front knee is not rolling in. The knee is in line with the middle toes. You're pushing out of your right shoulder. And then let's circle the arm. So taking the arm down. Just a nice little movement for the neck and the shoulder, this. Last one. So this time we're going to take the hand up towards the ceiling. Now if you want to take that into a lower position, you can. You might find one side you can and the other side you can't. I'm going to stay here. And then inhale, reach that arm over the top. Making sure the knee doesn't shoot past the toes, the knee staying in line with that ankle. You're pushing out of that right shoulder and you reach that left arm away. So reaching from here all the way up the body. And then to get a little bit more out of it, can you turn the rib cage? Gazing up so the arm is behind the head, or trying to go there. But remember, we don't want to be like killing ourselves here. Just find the point where it's causing a little bit of heat in the body and then hold it there. 2 more breaths. Inhale, hands come up, straighten the leg, turn the toes, and then taking that step in. Give your legs a little shake. So I hope you can feel this lovely stretch in this area around the body, even in the arms there. It's just a lovely way to stretch off fascia as well, because fascia is in the body, the connective tissues running down the sides. So it's good to stretch the body in all directions and all shapes. So that was the Hatha class today, and I shall see you again soon. Bye.